Hey, this is Wyatt with Creative Habits Podcast, and in this Canon M50 video test, I'm basically going to be putting the Canon M50, which I'm filming with right now, against the iPhone 6S. Now, the iPhone 6S will have a gimbal that I'll use with it. The test is using movement to test stability, clarity, and overall look. Because a lot of times as a creative entrepreneur, you're going to be using movement for a lot of different things, whether it be to create interest or to highlight a particular product or action scene. So in this video test, I'm going to be looking at several different things. I have a USB lighter, and I'll be using that in one of my tests. I think it's pretty cool, and I think we can create some cool imagery with that. But I wanted to put some movement in there so that it won't just be a static, thing, but I wanted to get movement in there to see how the Canon M50 in this video test reacts and how an iPhone 6S would react. Now, I'm also looking at, products and zooming up to them. And then, of course, I'm going to be doing your standard walking test to see, as you're walking and vlogging, which one, kind of side by side shows. In this Canon M50 video test, although I'm using my favorite 24mm lens with the adapter on here, what I'm doing is using the kit lens because I think that's what most of the time you're going to be using in this situation. Most people are just going to be using that lens. And so I'm going to try to make it as balanced as possible, kind of like a default for each of these. And the default for the Canon M50, of course, is the kit lens. So with that in mind, let's check it out. And our first one is going to be our walking test. Okay, so this first video test, I'm using the Canon M50, and this is on a tripod, a monopod really, with an extended arm. But it basically gives you the look and feel of the Canon M50 and its stabilization. It looks like it might not be stabilizing too much, but that's how it is. Okay, so this is the iPhone 6S, and this is using the gimbal. Same sort of walkthrough. Obviously, the gimbal is going to give it a little more stabilization, but we'll see. And of course, this isn't using any sort of auxiliary mic. This is just the mic from the camera, the phone itself. Is the stabilization still good? Is the focus good? Are we able to go in and out? And I didn't go in and out with the other one, so I don't know. So that's the quick walk test. Canon M50, and what I'm doing is seeing how well it kind of focuses on a particular product. This is kind of a focus test and just an overall look. This is light from the window. It's all natural light, and I've got a USB lighter, and I'm going to show it to you real quick. It's going to go up to the camera to see how fast it kind of focuses on a particular object as it comes up to it. Okay, so here it is. I've got this USB lighter right here. Right? Okay, let's try another test. Okay, so there it focuses back to me. And then I've got to check out this USB. Check out this really cool USB lighter I've got. Pretty cool, huh? So that kind of gives you an idea of how fast it focuses. Now, let's take a look at the lighter itself. Check out this USB lighter. See how cool this thing is? Check out this USB lighter. Look at how cool that is. Now I've got the iPhone 6S, and I put it pretty much exactly in the same spot. Got the same lighting going on because it's within moments, and I'm going to be doing the same thing. So basically, it's a test to see about the focus, to see overall look, and I'm going to be showing you the USB lighter. Here's a USB lighter that's pretty cool. Check it out. Pretty cool, huh? Want to see it in action? Check it out. That's pretty cool, huh? Now you never have to worry about lighter fluid ever again. Okay, so that was the test. Makes you want to get a USB lighter, right? They are pretty cool. I'm back with the Canon M50 on this video test, and this is the 24mm. And I'll show it to you side by side with the kit lens. This actually obviously does better in low light. This is pretty darn low light, and the other one, you know, wasn't as good. This is all on automatic settings. This isn't fiddling with anything. So just so you know, you can even dial it in better. Okay, so this whole video test, what does it really come down to? It comes down to when you do a test with something like an iPhone, right? See? And then you go back away, you go to your face, you go to the iPhone, you go to your face. Okay, and we did that kind of testing, and what'd you think? I mean, in fact, this has really fast, it's supposed to have really fast focus. And I think from what I've seen, it works really well on faces and keeping on your face. But on products itself, I find it a little bit slower. I don't know, over time that might be different, but right out of the box, default settings, automatic everything, that's how it seems. Now, what does this really mean? This means as a creative entrepreneur, when you're setting up things and you want to do a product shot and you want to talk and walk and talk, which one are you going to use? Are you going to actually get the Canon M50? I would say yes. But that's only because you already have an iPhone. If you don't want to sport the money, then just use your iPhone. But the thing of it is, you're going to find different situations that you're going to need either one of these. Each piece of equipment has its own strengths and weaknesses, and you're just going to take advantage of the equipment's strengths at the time that you use it. You're going to use multiple sources so you can get more interesting videos. You're going to use different equipment in different situations. So I don't think it's like, okay, this camera or that camera or the iPhone versus the camera. It's just not. You're going to want to use what's easiest and what gives you the best quality at the same time. So whether you have your iPhone on hand or your camera on hand, that's the one, of course, you're going to use the most. But with the iPhone, with the Canon M50, it's so easy to just kind of throw in your pocket or throw in a backpack and use that you might as well use it and then use the iPhone in certain situations. And I have to say that probably most people sporting for those really expensive gimbals that can handle the weight of even a Canon M50, probably not going to do. But if you did want to get those stabilization shots, you can get a good gimbal for your iPhone for like $100. And then you can do those different shots, those stable shots you want to do. Use the different equipment, right? Now, some people criticize the Canon M50 and say, oh, you know, it's really kind of plasticky feeling. It's got that light feeling. And here I've got, for comparison, this here is the Pentax K1000. This is my first camera in high school. Bought it for $50. Love it. It's got a 50mm lens on it. This thing is heavy. It's a solid camera, right? Now, take the XTI. This XTI is much lighter, but it still has that substantial like camera feel to it, right? You got this, and even though it's an XTI, it's older, it doesn't even do video. It feels solid, whereas the Canon M50 feels lighter and more plasticky. However, if you filter out all that and you look at the output and your ability to just kind of throw it in here and there and use it on the go, running gun sort of thing, then you realize the benefits of the Canon M50 far outweigh the kind of plastic feel you can get around. Because, you know, in essence, yes, you could get this and it feels more substantial, but it's also more cumbersome. So then you've got your iPhone, right? It's the least cumbersome of all. But, you know, it's like, what do you want to play with? What do you want? What inspires you to create more? Your iPhone or that camera that you get, right? So I put it out to you that although the tests, you know, may show one way or another, more likely as a creative entrepreneur to just think about your different situations. When are you going to use one more than the other? When are you going to whip out something like this, throw the Canon M50 on it and use it? And when does it make more sense to kind of like throw this on a gimbal and use it? So it's just the different situations, and one's not necessarily better than the other. You might have some slight differences here and there, but overall, each piece of equipment has its strengths and weaknesses. Just use the equipment you have to its strengths, and then shore up when you can for those weaknesses with other equipment. And, you know, multiple cameras are always good, in my book anyway. I hope you found this helpful. If you did, go ahead and give it a like. Glad you're watching, and I'll see you next time.
you.